Alright, let me go back to my spiel again. I literally sat there and talked about a bunch of stuff. I don't know what happened. Audio set to my computer's monitor, because my monitor can provide audio, I guess. We have a man, Calrican Jr. here, Project 2020. Ben Bard a card. I was going to say, give him a nice rub on all 5 of the boxes. What I was trying to say is, obviously you guys see me pull out of the cases. They're marked. Tomorrow, whenever we post break number 11, which will be the 3rd quarter of the 2 cases, I'll mark the case with the number 11. Just to show there's transparency. I restarted my computer, and for some reason it reset the audio, so I apologize for that. Good luck to everybody in the break. But what I was trying to say is, if you have it, because there's a few new guys in here, welcome to the group. Hope you guys enjoy yourself. If you have any questions, very transparent, probably more transparent than other breakers are. I would think. I mean, I hope other breakers are transparent, but I don't know if that's the truth or not. If you have any questions, let me know. If for whatever reason I don't answer right away, I have 2 small children. Not ignoring you. Sometimes it just takes me a little bit of time to answer. Most of the time I answer very quickly. But I leave my Facebook open on like 3 devices, so if I don't answer right away and I'm green, does not mean that I'm ignoring you or not there to answer. I'm 98% of the time doing something else and not ignoring you. There's 2% of the time I could be ignoring you, but not to like ignore you. I'm ignoring you because I'm doing something or irritated, so I don't want to answer you with a irritated at something else, I should say. So I don't want to give an answer that comes off the wrong way. As you guys have seen me in the break get a little heated over some stuff, like how grossly overrated Pete Rose is. Or Derek Jeter for Robbie, who tried to post a video on the group for Jeter's jump throw. The guy makes one jump throw, and all of a sudden he's the best fielding shortstop in the history of baseball. I think he's Ozzie Smith. So, do you guys think LeBron James is going to go on an old man run here in the playoffs, or? Look, I chose violence today, okay? We're coming out hot and heavy. Have you seen Tim Raines? I do. Pete Rose is 100% a Hall of Famer. I never said Pete Rose wasn't a Hall of Famer. He's just overrated for what people say he is. And I think Nolan Arenado is underrated, if I'm being honest. The guy's probably going to go down as the best third baseman to ever play the game. And he gets, like, no love right now. He gets no hobby love. He gets no real-life love. It's kind of crazy how good that guy is. And he doesn't get the proper publicity for it. Let's get rolling here. We have Sal Frelick. Drew Jones. Looks like he could start off really well for this one. Vaquero. We got Jackson Chourio, Trey Sweeney, Gavin Cross. Well, the Marlins are getting rewarded here. 187 out of 250 going to Brian. So Joe Mauer is a Hall of... If you put Yadier Molina and we have Joshua Baez and Jackson Holiday and Buster Posey... So the problem is if Yadier Molina is a Hall of Famer, then by proxy Joe Mauer and Buster Posey are both Hall of Famers. Especially Buster Posey. You can't have better offensive numbers. Beat Molina in Gold Glove some years, Christian Hernandez, and not be in the Hall of Fame. Luis Rodriguez, Anthony Gutierrez, because Molina would be going in as one of the best defensive catchers, if not the best defensive catcher, not named Johnny Bench, to the Hall of Fame, right? But Buster Posey has 5 Gold Gloves himself. In those 5 years, Molina also played baseball. We got Shea Langeliers, Dan Frias, Lionel James. The argument for Mauer is that he won an MVP at catcher and batted over 300. We got Brock Jones, Jet Williams, Corbin Carroll. The thing that hurts Joe Mauer is the fact that he played first base at the back end of his career and didn't play catcher the entire time. Marcus Lee Sang, Wagner, Azuna. But I also think Thurman Munson should be in the Hall of Fame, and he's not. So there's also that. I feel like the Hall of Fame does not have the proper love for catchers that they should. The only reason I think Thurman Munson should be in the Hall of Fame is mostly because he didn't really have a choice to end his playing career. I think Don Mattingly should be in the Hall of Fame too, but Don Mattingly was due to injuries. Thurman Munson, unless I'm mistaken, he died like in the middle of his career. It's not like he had a choice and just stopped playing. We have Martinez, Max Muncy, and if he would have not passed away, he would have easily been a Hall of Famer. Warming Bernabel. Not that I feel like more Yankees should necessarily have to be in the Hall of Fame. We have Green, Colas, Cedeno. We have Carlos Colmenares. Jordan Love. I just want to make sure I didn't get Munson confused with somebody else. We have Cam Collier. He got died in a car crash, right? Colton Cowser? Or was it a plane crash? It was some sort of crash. Christian Hernandez, Kumar Rocker. We got Kyle Harrison and Gabriel Gonzalez. Eddie Rodriguez. Hao Yu Lee. Yasser Mercedes on the Atomic. No one's going to agree that Harold Bain should even be in the Hall of Fame, I would hope. Jay Savina. Yober Herrera. Marco Luciano. Juan Chacon. And Lisandro Rodriguez. I don't even think Fred McGriff should have got in the Hall of Fame. So, Tamar Johnson. Rafaela. Arias. Zach Neto. I have Cole Young, but the Hall of Fame starting to turn into the good old boy club. So there's that. Gabriel Martinez. I just know that Thurman Munson and Carlton Fisk had a fierce rivalry. Tony Blanco Jr. and Henry Ramos. Quinn Priester. Pedro Ramirez, Carlos Jorge. I have Jorge Burgos. Junior Garcia. Brett Batty. Simone Juan. Jorge Ruiz, 97 out of 250 on the purple. It's like two of the last teams getting rewarded here with the purple paper and the purple chrome for the Angels and the Marlins. From a Yankees fan, you would say that. I have Ellie De La Cruz. I have Bastidas, Rojas. I have Amador. Jesus Baez, Jordan Lawler. We'll just set that right there, Austin. I'll let you know it's good. We might have blown our load early in this break, boys. We have Nelson Rada, Javier Osorio, and Jordan Lawler. We're going to have a 4 out of 5 Red Lava Brooks Lee going to Austin Fishbach and the Twins. And this is exactly what I talk about, guys. 9 out of 10 times, if you consistently get the same team and break after break after break, you're going to hit something. I'm not gonna say it's. I'm not saying it's always an out of 5. But you've been in the group with us. Break is about the 7th or 8th break that Austin's had the Twins, and there's been breaks where he has gotten skunked and not gotten anything with the Twins. But consistency pays off with the Red Lava on the Brooks Lee. Into the second hobby box. Since it's been the same teams at the back end of these that haven't been closing, if you ended up closing with one of the last 5 or so teams and you would like them in the second half of the 2 cases, let me know. Maybe we can work out a price if it's a team you actually enjoy and you weren't just trying to close to see something break. Because it seems like the last couple of breaks we've had the Cubs, the Marlins, and the Angels hold us up, so I'm willing to reduce the price on them a little bit to people that had them already. If not, whenever we post tomorrow, I'll just keep them at the same price and we'll... Okay, so I'll say I have an out of 5 Benny Montgomery second year, and it's about an $800 card. I think that Brooks Lee's probably a better baseball player than Benny Montgomery is, and it's not like Benny signed it crazily or anything. Benny's first that was out of 5 was $1,600, so of ones that sold. But he was first. There was one that sold for more than that, but that was like the hype of like Benny the Rocket. I would say it's anywhere from $800 to $1,500, give or take. I know that's like a huge range. It's also, I don't know how the Red Lavas are going to do, because this is the first year there's a Red Lava parallel, because normally it's the red. I think it's the True Red and the Shimmer, right, are the 2 reds in Bowman. I know the Red Lava is new because somebody pulled a Red Lava Red Lava, I think, at Cam Collier, and someone was like, when did they start putting Red Lava in there? So, but I mean, if he becomes ridiculously good, obviously the price of that goes up. And it's hard to tell because, like, the last 2 years, they started putting a lot of guys' prospect autographs in there. Like, you weren't getting a Tatis Jr. second-year autograph, so it's really hard to compare it to anybody that's, like, really good, right? If he comes up and he's Tatis, as good as Tatis, or as good as, I don't know, somebody else, Nolan Gorman, it's hard to tell because they didn't do a lot of second-year autographs till recently. So, by second year, I mean, like, second year in a product. Obviously, he's not even in the pros. We have Yeiner Fernandez, De Los Santos, but they know that, like, people that can't afford like a Jackson Holiday first or having trouble find one, they know a second-year Jackson Holiday is not as good but still valuable and something that people want to try to collect. Marco Luciano, Jet Williams, which is, I think, why they're starting to do it for like the high-end prospects. We have Justin Crawford, Jace Jung, 149 out of 299. Bowman's best is out of 10, though. They don't make a Bowman's best out of 5. Daniel Suzak, the Reds out of 10. So if the out of 10 did 500 or did 450, it's definitely more than 500. Eric Brown Jr., like I said, it's probably that 8 to 1200. Rafaela. That's definitely one if you're going to keep it, Austin. I would send it down to SGC. Yober Herrera. Matt McLean. Justin Crawford, Artiga, and then whatever grade you get on it, you can obviously always crack the slab later on if you want to go to sell it and put it in a PSA slab or Beckett. Roderick Arias, Leandro Arias, Colson Montgomery, De La Cruz, Mikey Ramiro, Daniel Gilarte, Encarnacion. Got Curtis Mead, William Lugo. I'm just saying SGC for P. If I'm being honest, the slab you should go with for your PC right now, I will go with CSG. I just suggest SGC right now because they're running the $9 special. We have Amberis Tavares. I personally, if I would slab stuff for my personal collection, it would be through CSG. But that's also, I mean, I like the black and gold label. Some guys like the tuxedo. That's really a preference, I guess. Just when SGC runs their specials, no one's beating the price. When they're not running the special, I think it was like $15 a card. You get the label, like the extra is like $2 or $3. You get the extra stuff on the CSG label and the autograph graded. Nice hit for the Braves there. So I think that long term CSG could end up holding a lot of value only because Fanatics has their hands mightily tied into it. Joshua Baez. I'm not saying they're going to push CSG, but there's a chance they could. Justin Henry Malloy. So that's why I choose it for PC, but I mean SGC is going to continue to try to grow as well. Tristan Casas, that's why we keep doing these specials. Christian Serta, Anthony Paguero, Marcos Cabrera, and Jefferson Rojas. Now Tyler Soderstrom, Colton Cowser, James Wood on the Atomic. If you think you have a really, really pristine card, I actually think Beckett. If you can get an actual 10 from Beckett, I think that Beckett's probably the way to go for Bowman product for the most resale value. We got Arroyo, Osorio. However, Beckett's by far the most stingy when it comes to grading centering. Rafaela. So if the centering's not perfect, it's going to be really hard to get a 10. We got Tamar Johnson, Blythe, Samuel Munoz, or at least if it's not a guaranteed 9.5, Khalil Watson. Because JJ sent off Jackson Holiday, Trey Sweeney, and I thought the centering was going to get a 9.5, and I think they gave him like an 8.5 or a 9 on the centering. Gavin Williams, Matt Mervis, Jesus Baez, I mean, other than their ridiculous trying to switch their gym, all that stuff they just had, that debacle, Kenny Gomez, Anthony Gutierrez, and getting a bunch of backlash. I mean, the company itself's not bad. Anthony Volpe, they have good turnaround times. Tavares, the price doesn't really adjust. Ruben Santana, as much as they do adjust if you send them a big card price, but they don't adjust as much as PSA does. Like, they're not charging you an extra like $100-some to grade a big card. We have Almos Savala, Garrett Mitchell, Jace Bowen, Ronnie Simone, Bobby Witt, Brady House, Ryan Clifford, Braylon Bishop, and Max Meyer. on the paper right there. Mike Trout, Diego Cartaya, Juan Brito, Jonathan Mejia. Going to the Blue Jays, we're going to have a 173 out of 250, Hayden Yanger. On the purple. This dude has ridiculously good numbers. He's a little bit older for the Blue Jays, going to Robbie Coleman. I'm not really sure how to take him other than he has good numbers. I tried to ask my buddy that's in Canada if he knows about him, and he didn't really know about him. They don't talk about him too much. But looking at the numbers, they look very, very good. O'Ray and Hector Rodriguez. We'll see what actually his value is in the future, I suppose. But he looks like he has really good numbers. I mean, I would put money on that Brooks Lee is definitely going to get called up to the big leagues either this year or next year. I could see them giving him a little, like, depending where the Twins are at in the playoff environment, going with a jumbo here, that he gets a little 10-game stint or whatever up in the pros at the end of this year if the Twins are not in playoff contention. I mean, shit, even if their shortstop's playing like trash, he still might get called up if they think he can help them push into the playoffs, because they won't have to give up a year of eligibility if he plays like the last 25 games. So I will say right now, Austin, something you could look into is because he hasn't, I don't think his redemptions are back. It might be worth it to put it up like way higher than you think it sells for to see if somebody pays you for it. And maybe buying a different Brooks Lee that's his first or whatever. That could be an option too, because he hasn't signed anything yet, right? Because his autographs weren't live in draft. And I don't know if the redemptions have come back yet. I don't follow Brooks Lee to know. But if his redemptions aren't back yet, you could get more of a premium because his autographs are live on the card. Okay, well, I mean, like I said, you could always throw it up on I can send you pictures after we're done. You can always throw it up on eBay and see. Like, if you put it up for like $2,500 or something and someone offers you $2,200 because the other autographs aren't live, I mean, I'd probably jump on that. I don't think that'll happen. It could, though. I mean, you never know unless you try. But I would put it at something that, like, it's a price you can't say no to. Not because obviously, like, I know you PC the Twins and you're not a big seller on the Twins themselves. Going to the Orioles, we're going to get a Jackson Holiday, 4 out of 99 on the autograph. Going to Zach Keen, however you say your last name. It's not Keen, it's not Kuhn, it's not Kiene. I try to say one time and then I haven't heard the verbally said. But number 9, Jackson Holiday on the Bowman Scouts Top 100. Going to Zach. Even when I thought that I had said it right, you guys said I butchered it, so Henry Davis. I'll just say it 8 different ways and still butcher it. Oh, okay, Heller. Let's see. Yeah, Collier, Muncy, Fernandez, De Los Santos, Kenny Gomez, Khalil Watson. Have Riley Green, Oscar Colas, have Boyd, Gonzalez, Suzak, Eric Brown Jr., Marco Luciano, Trey Sweeney. I have Gabriel Moreno, Miguel Blige on the 441 out of 499 to the Red Sox. Arroyo, Lubier, Justin Crawford, Artiga, Ruiz, Oscar Colas, Colton Cowser, Jackson Chourio, Anthony Gutierrez, Trey Sweeney, Colton Cowser, Cabrera, Serta, Jackson Chourio, 91 out of 150 Soto to the Angels on the blue paper. Roman Anthony. We have Yolber Herrera. Jet Williams, Miguel Blige, Edwin Arroyo, Tony Blanco Jr., 18 out of 250. Going to the Pirates. And that's Eric Greco. Nice hit there on the big boy. We have Luis Angel Acuna. Corbin Carroll, Yordani De Los Santos, Henry Ramos, Arias, Matt Mervis, Khalil Watson, Tamar Johnson, and Martinez. Marco Luciano, Hector Rodriguez, Braylon Bishop, Mikey Ramiro, O'Ray, Brito, Colson Montgomery. Have an Adley Rutschman Spotlight, Miguel Blige. Have Garcia, Encarnacion, Gilarte, De La Cruz. Got Justin Crawford for the Phillies. Nice lunar right there. Michael Bush. We have Nelson Rada for the Angels. And Rada's not been getting as much love as I thought he would. Actually signed for a higher pool of international money. He had a couple injuries, but anytime you get close to $2 million in international pool money, the team's pretty impressed with who you are. Another hit to Austin. We have Shea Langeliers. Azorio, Rojas, Paguero, Malloy, Lugo. Have Tamar Johnson, Sal Frelick, Carlos Colmenares, William Bergala, and Luis Lara. Chourio, Neto. We have Roman Anthony, 256 out of 299 on the speckle to the Red Sox, and Kevin Britton. Vaquero. Have a 28 out of 99 Xavier Isaac going to the Rays, and Tom Scarberry on the Bowman Invicta. Strange box. 2 insert autographs and a Rada. I think that's the first time we've seen. We haven't seen too many insert autographs in general, but that's 2 of them. It's also weird that Isaac signed his could sign his stickers, but couldn't sign on card for us. I don't know what product he has autographs in that he signed the stickers but not on card. We have Munoz because his base checklist auto is a redemption. So we got Jacob Berry, Almost Santana, Taveras, Cole Young. Got Freddie Freeman. I wonder if he damaged the cards or something and they had to reprint them. We have Brett Batty, Marcelo Mayer. We have Savala, Cross, Clifford, Bowen, Simone, and Jordan Westberg, who's actually a very, very good prospect that no one even talks about. I mean, I've seen there's somebody's autograph where, Brett Batty's autographs on card are live because we pulled one for JP, but his sticker autographs aren't live. Like the inserts, his top 100 Bowman, or not top 100 Bowman, his the Rookie of the Year insert is not live. It's a redemption. Tell me how that makes sense. You signed all your cards, but you couldn't sign the sticker booklet they give you. Like, I appreciate. Okay, so I should say I appreciate Topps and I appreciate the players for signing anything, getting stuff in the product, trying to get stuff in the product. Topps 9 out of 10 times has zero control of whether or not the player signs their card on time. And like some guys are like, well, then don't include them. However, you can't have like 2022 would have been a flop of a product if Wander Franco and J-Rod weren't in every single box of cards they possibly could be. Let's be honest. So you want those guys, and same with Bobby Witt has a few boxes that have redemptions, and O'Neal Cruz. Like, you don't want the 4 biggest guys in the product last year to be in the box because they didn't sign on card for something. Like, I don't know. Some guys just... thought process doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, there's times where I think stuff too that probably people are like, what is he even talking about or thinking about? But even a guy like Mike Trout, like Trout has been signing for Topps for a long time and he signs everything. It's not like he doesn't sign. It's not like we're having a guy that doesn't sign stuff like Bobby Abreu. I do have to ask you guys, out of curiosity, what do you guys think about Henry Ruggs pleading guilty to his charges, bumping over to football real quick, getting 3 to 10 years in prison? Do you guys think if he gets out in 5 or less years that he comes back to the NFL, he would, if he was 3 to 5 years, he'd be anywhere from 27 to 29 years old when he got released from prison? I'm assuming he's going to be on the low end of that because I would assume that, A, he's going to be protected due to money because even though he did what he did, he still signed a pretty big signing bonus in the NFL, and I think no matter what, that's guaranteed money as a draft pick because he's a first-rounder. You don't think there's any chance? See, I think he does come. I think I was talking to Austin about it. I think he does come back, and I think he comes back only because he has such. He was so fast that I think he's still going to have the raw, natural ability to come back. It's just whether or not I think a team wants to sign him. I could honestly see the Raiders, depending how their franchise is going at the time, re-signing him as like a redemption project and him donating money to like fighting drunk drive or impaired driving. We have Matt McLean, like every piece of his pay, not every cent of his paycheck, but a portion of his paycheck sends stuff to families, and we have Marcus Lee saying. Yeah, but Ray Rice, when he did what he did, was in the middle of the Me Too movement. We have Cedeno, Robert Perez Jr., we have Oswald Peraza, Elijah Green, Oscar Colas, Because, I mean, Kareem Hunt literally field goal kicked a chick in the hallway, and that was cool. We got Oscar Colas. So, Jordan Lawler, Alonzo. Kevin Alcantar. Kumar Rocker. Nelson Rada. We have Juan Alonso for the Dodgers. And that's going to Tom Scarberry. And Ray Lewis, as much as I want to admit it, he didn't murder anybody. He might have told his boys to murder somebody, and then he lied about it. So he should have been in prison, but it's hard to get somebody to stick to being in prison on perjury charges when you have a lot of money. Christian Hernandez, Ganau, Marco Luciano, Montesino, Kyle Harrison, Kennedy Corona, and James Wood. Jose Ramos, Randy DeJesus, Luis Garcia, Drew Jones. Have Henry Davis, Brady House, Adley Rutschman, Yenner Fernandez on the 309 out of 399 on the lime green. I mean, I personally don't want to see Ruggs play in the NFL again because I think that his sentences for his punishment is a little light, but I guess it all depends what state's laws you're on or in. We have Chase DeLauder. Wilbur Sanchez, 5 out of 125 on the teal shimmer. There's just not a lot of guys that run sub 4 340, so I'm not saying it's still going to be that when he gets out of prison, but he doesn't have anything to do in there other than run and lift weights, so. Nice hit for the Sox. And John. De Leon. Martin Gonzalez. I'll tell you what, he's going to be the best wide receiver in the Western Prison League. Dustin Harris. Deshaun. Jay Savina. Oh, you're talking about Dante Stallworth? Dante Stallworth didn't even go to jail though, man. I was gonna say he just stayed on the Saints. Like, I'm not laughing about the situation. I'm laughing at like how ridiculous it was. He didn't even go to jail. We have Wilbur Sanchez, Figueroa. Essentially, they said the guy was illegally jaywalking, so he wasn't legally responsible. Colton Cowser, Axel Sanchez, Peyton Graham, Jorge. Which that stuff happens a little bit more than people think. I don't know who's familiar with the Baltimore, Washington, D.C. area, but there's a road that connects the two. It's 295. And I was like my second year here after coming over from Portugal. So like 2014 or 15, Luis Lara, a dump truck hit a guy on 295 walking across the street at 4:30 in the morning and exploded his body all over the road to where like the road was closed for like 7 hours. Kobe Mayo, Ben Cosme, Marcus Lee Sang, and there's a major military base, an intel agency that's off of 295 that no one could get to work because it was by the exit. We have Marcus Lee Sang. Like, you had to go all the way around to get there. So it took me like 3 hours to get to work that morning. Ricardo Perez, Bargala, Josh Jung, Montez, and Julian. We're going to have Anthony Gutierrez, Blaze Jordan, Jacob Berry, Andy Pages, Yordani De Los Santos Perosa, Elijah Green, Spencer Jones and Samuel Munoz. Ray Fickle. Finkel. Okay. Ace Ventura, calm down. We have Henry Davis. Zach Neto, Acuna. Jason Churio and Gavin Cross. Tell you what, it was strange being in a, not necessarily a foreign country, but in a time zone that's 4 hours ahead of everybody else and 7 hours ahead of anybody on the West Coast is definitely unique. Like having to watch football, if you wanted to watch the early games at, or I mean to watch like Sunday Night Football, it started at past midnight. Or Monday Night Football was starting at like almost 1 in the morning. So that was interesting. Like if you wanted to watch sports, you pretty much stayed up. Like you took a nap to wake up to go watch your sports team. Like, so that was interesting. But I will say in Europe they have this thing called NFL Game Pass. Or it might be called something else. I think it's the equivalent to what NFL Game Pass is, and essentially you can stream the NFL, all the NFL games, nothing's blacked out, for legitimately like, I don't know, $30 a month. Like it's so cheap. Which is interesting to me that they can offer it so cheap to Europeans, but if you want NFL Sunday Ticket, it's like $500 a season. I don't even think it was €30 a month. I think it was like 100. It was like €100 for the whole season or something like that, or the whole year. It was called NFL Game Pass, because the other thing I'm thinking of is NFL Rewind. And it's the same exact interface, just the European version you could... Which actually, I wonder if you can access it with a VPN. I wonder how... I bet you the NFL, though, has invested money to block all the VPNs, so you can't do that. Because like Netflix, if you use, I don't know if anybody uses VPNs at all. If you use ExpressVPN, depending what server you use, Netflix is actually blocks it. We have Tyler Soderstrom, Ellie De La Cruz, Manuel Beltre, Marcelo Mayer, Henry Davis, Randy DeJesus, Luis Garcia, Diego Cartaya. Because I'll let you know what, Canadian Netflix is 10 times better than American Netflix. It's pretty much the same shows, plus you get like a bunch of NBC stuff and Fox stuff. Jorge Fernandez is pretty much like having Hulu and Netflix in one place. The Sun, De Leon, DeLauder, Curtis Mead, Gunnar Henderson, Christian Hernandez, Robert Perez Jr., Colby Thomas, Austin Charles, Axel Sanchez, Wilbur Sanchez, Tyler Soderstrom. The Brooks was out of a hobby box. We're going to have a Marion Boyd, 298 out of 499 going to the Phillies. And that is going to Zach as well. So Zach having a nice little break here. You have George Valera, Canal, Alonso, Julian, Perez, Ben Cosme, Gavin Williams, Michael Harris Jr. Michael Harris is second, I should say, on the spotlight. Say Tamar Johnson. I guess I should respect that more because Joseph isn't a junior. He's the second. Wouldn't let me get a junior. Second was okay, but not a junior. We got Brady House, James Wood, Vincent Perozzo, Blaze Jordan, Montez, Justin Crawford. We're going to have a 4 out of 50 Tamar Johnson. Does have a print line or two there, Eric. But a nice gold spotlight there going to Tamar. Definitely a nice hit for Eric. Eric's had a nice little 2 quarters of this stuff with the Pirates. We have Vaughn Grisham. Justin Crawford on the 86 out of 499 sky blue paper. I think people are still sleeping on the hobby boxes because traditionally jumbos were way better. But I honestly think the value you're getting, even if you did a personal out of the hobby boxes, is very good this year. We have Leader Figueroa, Martin Gonzalez, Acuna, Spencer Jones, Yordani De Los Santos, and Anthony Gutierrez. I think everybody's really sleeping on them. Normally, I would say, like, avoid hobby boxes. Zach Veen. I tried to get just jumbo cases and not have to get the hobby cases with them, but I'm kind of happy I did because they seem to be doing pretty well for us this year. We have Geloff, Solano Hernandez, Kumar Rocker, Jordan Lawler, Kobe Mayo. Like, maybe not, you're obviously getting less autographs, but the parallels have been very good. We have Roderick Arias, Jackson Holiday, Aponte, DePaula, Peyton Graham, Kyle Harrison, Robert Perez Jr. Andy Pages. We have Samil De La Rosa, 81 out of 250 going to the Cardinals. And that is going to Chris Burton, who has them through the whole 2 cases. So we'll see if we end up getting more Samil De La Rosa, autograph only guy on the purple. Miguel Vargas, not a lot known about him, so it's hard to really tell how he's going to project. We have Xavier Isaac, De La Cruz, have Corona, Montesino, Angel Ganal, 331 out of 499 of the Guardians on the refractor. We have Anthony Volpe, Robert Hassel, Jordan Lawler, Acuna, Perozza, Azuna, Blanco Jr., Cole Young, Alcantar. We have Gabriel Moreno on the pink, 83 out of 175 going to the Diamondbacks. And JJ. I have a Junior Caminero going to the Rays. And Tom. Nice autograph here. One of the chases. I have Gabriel Martinez, Ramirez, Martinez, Lee Sang, Wagner, Ramos, Nolan Gorman, Simone Juan. Got Jason Dominguez, Jace Jung, Elijah Green, Oscar Colas, Cedeno, and Dustin Harris. And that's going to be the break. Let's do a quick recap of the hits. We have Tavares on the blue Ray Wave. Moreno on the pink paper out of 175. Ganao out of 499. Ruiz out of 250. Justin Crawford out of 499. Gonna have Tamar Johnson out of 50. Roman Anthony out of 299. Wilbur Sanchez out of 125. Yenner Fernandez out of 399. Jacob Berry out of 250. Miguel Blais out of 499. Jace Jung out of 299. And Soto out of 150 paper. I meant to ask you, Jordan, what's going on with Devi Garcia? Or Luis Gil. We got 18 out of 250 on the Tony Blanco on the purple Ray Wave. Are either of those guys going to come up and pitch for the Yankees, or we're going to have Hayden Yanger out of 250 on the purple. Boyd out of 499 on the refractor for the Phillies. De La Rosa out of 250 on the purple for the Cardinals. Xavier Isaac out of 99 on the Invicta. Caminero for the Rays on the base. Rada for the Angels on the base. And Alonso on the base for the Dodgers. I have Jackson Holiday, Bowman Scouts top 100 out of 99. And the big hit of the break, Brooks Lee going to Austin, 4 out of 5 in the Twins. Big hit right there. I appreciate you guys getting the break. Tomorrow I'll post the third part, or the third quarter of the cases. Right now there is a random teams that I'll go update the spots for that. As well as, once you get through these quarter cases, I'll probably post a half case of hobby with a ×2 option for the pick your team stuff. I appreciate you guys. You guys have a good night and be safe. There is a Pokemon break up. It is a little bit late, but there's 2 spots left to the Pokemon break. If you guys want to break it and no one's waiting it for like their kids to see, or they want to watch with their kids tomorrow, I'll break the Pokemon tonight. Just let me know. I'll see you guys either later for Pokemon, or, I mean, if we really push that random close, I wouldn't mind it, but it is obviously 12:05 already. I don't expect that. But I appreciate you guys as always. You guys have a good night and be safe.